the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Josh, I really didn't get to talk to you guys about the Cincinnati game.
Right.
And I know moments after that game, we came away devastated, heartbroken, disappointed, frustrated, the same things, like Cleveland stuff. Honestly, after a few hours, I kind of come away from it going, well, hey, everybody's kind of crowned Cincinnati as an upper echelon team, basically could be a playoff team. So either they're way worse because no one's giving us a chance. We're 32nd, 31st every time I see a power ranking. I would say either they're worse than we, most people think, or we're a lot better than people think. And I'd choose the later on that, man. I really, I thought we played a great game plan. We played them tough as hell. There were some mistakes, the penalties, then, and then obviously the interceptions and the missed kicks. You can't do that in the NFL. Close games, those are the kind of things that determine that. But I come into this week nervous, but also kind of excited to see how we look against Baltimore. Because in my opinion, that's the top. You got Buffalo, you got, Baltimore, you got some other teams too. But I mean, it's a nice, how do we look kind of deal. And, if we get rocked, maybe we bring our expectations down just a little bit. But I think going into this week, I'm kind of cautiously excited.
Oh, I don't disagree with you, buddy. I think, the Bengals, we've talked about that historically start out the season slow. So maybe we caught them at a time where every year they're just not firing on all cylinders. Zach Taylor, 2-11 now in weeks 1 and 2 over his career, something like that. Maybe they, they put it together, and that high-flying offense really does become what it's been chalked up to be throughout the season. But I think we were definitely the better team in week 1, at least. And there's some stats that I want to get to about this Ravens game, this matchup. Just obviously, we only have 1 week to base everything off of, so that's what we're going to do. But it is encouraging for the Browns, at least Browns fans, to have a little hope in this matchup. But we'll kick everything off here. That was just kind of a quick discussion. Justin didn't get his comments in on the show last week because he was coming home from the game and had a long day up there in Cleveland. But we appreciate everybody tuning in. This is the first Dog Pack Discord live show that we have done since, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Kansas City Chiefs game, previewing that one last season. So it has been a minute, and the audience here, you guys rock. We got people, filling this thing up. You guys are ready to jump up here on stage, or at least tune in. Drop your thoughts and stuff in the comments as well if you cannot, get up here and actually talk with us. If you're interested in doing this sort of format, of joining these shows with us, we're going to be doing these previews throughout the season. Go to jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page, sync up with the private Discord so you can get into these shows. You get access to the entire Dog Pack community 24/7. I mean, it is a great place to be. All these guys in here can attest. It's an awesome community. It's just a great place to not just talk about Browns football, but just anything and everything. And it's a lot of great people. So we appreciate all you guys tuning in, being in here, and supporting the show. That's the big thing. You guys support us and make this possible. So we really cannot thank you enough. We do have a matchup this week, week 2, the Browns heading to Baltimore. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with this game. There's a lot of extracurriculars going on for this week. We'll get into that. It's a week 2 matchup between 2 0-1 teams that should honestly both be 1-0. This should be 2 undefeated teams so far coming out of week 1. The Browns squandered every opportunity to win their game last week against the Bengals. Like we said, they were clearly the better team, had the game won, all that stuff. 2 missed kicks, 2 drop passes for picks. Can't make this stuff up. The Ravens, on the other hand, blew a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter with under 5 minutes to play. They were up 40-25 on the Bills, and they let the Bills stack 16 points in like 4 minutes to lose 41-40. That was definitely one of those games where I turned it off, went to bed, woke up the next day and said, what the hell? And I had to go back and watch and see how it all unfolded. So let's see. You guys, Jim Jam says he can't hear anybody. Hopefully you guys can hear me because I'm the only one talking right now. We'll get some of you guys up here in a minute. If you want to come up here, if you got thoughts about this game or a question or anything, go ahead and get your hand up. down in the audience, we'll bring you up. One last thing that we will definitely be discussing here, the Ravens celebrating this 30th year anniversary on Sunday. And it was kind of a big deal earlier in the week. So they're celebrating 30 years since, of course, the Browns moved to Baltimore to become the Ravens. And they're celebrating it at home week 2 when the Browns come into Baltimore. And a lot of people in the Browns media were pretty pissed. You know, it was like one of those things like, what a slap in the face. Why would you guys do this week against the Browns? It's really classless, all that kind of stuff. Then more information kind of comes out. Okay, you know, the NFL had already, or the Ravens had already planned this celebration of 30 years for their first home game for the home opener before the schedule was set. So really the NFL is the one who, you know, had the control to slot, well, which opponent is going to be for that home opener, and they picked the Browns. So really it's the NFL who, and I'm sure this was not by accident. All right, let's see. I've got Tony the Italian wants to come on up here, so let's get him on stage. Tony, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Good, man. Good to hear from you. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, great, brother.
I was hoping for this these shows to come back.
Yeah, we've been wanting to do them, and it's just one of those things. Scheduling, we've been trying to figure it out, but we got it. We're going to do this now, so really excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, I wanted to talk about the Baltimore game. I won't talk about the whole thing that happened with that because that's just a conversation for another day. But I'm not excited to see what the outcome is. I think my main thing, and I said this at the beginning of the season, I'm excited to see what the rest of these rookies are going to keep doing. Fannin, I really, really hope, and I'm going to harp on this because I know, Josh, you talked about a lot of how Fannin just looks like he's 20 years old, but he already looks like he's been in the league for 5 years and he's been doing this day in, day out. I mean, he just looks really good. I'd love to see them use him in, I don't know whether that's, put him in a slot or something where he's going to be lined up on, on the outside where he's going to be a bigger body against some of these smaller guys and then still having Njoku on the line. Cause those are two guys that if you throw the ball up to them, it's hard to compete against them. Along with having Judy hopefully getting a little bit more open this week and doesn't have a couple more drops, but like I said, the conversation for another day. And then also Samson. I'm excited to see what Samson does, especially against a defense that is very good at getting sideline. Not saying that the Bengals linebacker core isn't good, but would like to see how he's going to do with catches out of the backfield if he's still going to be able to get 5-6 yards after the catch and make something out of nothing. So I'm really excited to see what the rookies do this week against Baltimore.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, we talked about it on the recap show, and actually, Tony, here, I'm just going to go ahead. You guys stay in here if you got more things you want to say. I want to cycle through as many people as possible. So I'll move you back to the audience for now, and we'll get somebody up here next. But, the rookies were the predominant factor on the opening drive. Like the scripted drive to open the game against the Bengals featured the rookies. And, I mean, who else do we really have on offense? Those are our main skill guys. I mean, yeah, you got Judy and Tillman, but if you're going to do the short passing game, especially against, whatever defensive looks you're getting, if that's the way to go, you're going to script it up to Fannin and Sampson and maybe Judkins now if he gets involved in the passing game whenever he comes back and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm interested in the defensive rookies as well. I want to see more Absolutely. Of Mason Graham and, man, Carson Swessinger. Awesome. Truth, let's get you up here real quick, buddy. What's going on?
Oh, hey guys, how you doing,
Brother?
Hey, you know what? The Ravens hate us because they ain't us. That's what I'm saying.
They sure ain't, bro.
Yeah. You know what? You could take the Browns away from Baltimore, but the Browns will still be the Browns, even though they're the old Browns. That team has given up the most, 17 or something like that? I forgot the number.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Harbaugh has given up the most double-digit losses ever in the
Blown
NFL
leads.
or something like
Blown
that.
leads, yeah.
I mean, how do you lose that game with 4 minutes left? I mean, Buffalo's good. They're a really good team. But you have one of the best defenses according on paper in the NFL, and you just let them run up and down the field on you. I don't know, man. I I still think Lamar's a little bit of a choke artist. I mean, it wasn't his fault that, Henry fumbled the ball, of course,
Right.
but I don't know. I just seen a reoccurring experience. I think it's kind of a slap face for them to give us, what was it, 12? Are we at 11 points or 10.5 points now?
I thought I
don't
saw
know.
11 and a
Gone
half
down a little
today,
bit.
but I could be wrong.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot of points to hope that they're going to be. I mean, they could be, but I think our defense is good enough to keep us within range. And I hope maybe this whole 30th anniversary thing sets a little fire in some of the guys' butts. Hey, let's light them up and beat them. That's what I'm hoping. Judkins, as far as Judkins goes, he has a really short week of practicing. I mean, he was supposed to practice yesterday, but he had to go meet with the NFL. He's gonna have a couple days with the team. I know he was in the mini camps. I mean, it's probably gonna be mostly Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson and sprinkle in Judkins. So I don't think he'll be really anything for Sunday. I need to see our receivers secure balls better, though. That was pretty pathetic on Sunday. So,
Yeah.
Besides that, I think Joe Flacco could have 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, and we win this by, I don't know, a 2-point conversion.
Oh, I'll tell you this, brother. I love you, dog. I don't like our chances in a shootout with them. I like our chances in a dirty, gritty, scrappy game where defenses are going back and forth. And, it comes down to basically a possession game where, take care of the ball, make the most of your opportunities when you get in scoring position. I could see us squeaking by, but I do not like us in a straight up our offense against their offense kind of matchup. They're just very deep, and they're very, very, their roster to me it's phenomenal, and I hate to say that as a Cleveland fan, but their GM and just everything, they take the best available player because for the most part, their guys work out. They don't always have to draft for position. They just end up getting a Malachi Starks falling to them in the first round, at the back of the first round. So I do, I like our chances in the game. I don't like our chances in an offensive shootout.
That's true.
Nope, I agree with that. I remember, Brad, thanks for the question, buddy. Here, I'm gonna move you out. We'll get somebody else up here for a minute. Watching the game Sunday night, I was texting these guys, and I said the Ravens are gonna murder us. We are done. There's no way we're gonna. Derrick Henry was ripping off 30-yard runs like it was nothing. Lamar Jackson was doing
great.
Whatever he wanted to do. It was just oh man, we are so screwed next week. And, then you kind of step back and you go and you look at some of the stats and obviously how the game ended up for them. Their defense was really giving up a lot in the passing game. I think Josh Allen had, almost 400 yards passing, most on the week, all that kind of stuff. I don't know, man. Joe Flacco is no stranger to putting up big yards. He was the 5th most in week 1 with 290. Obviously, he shouldn't have needed all of those 290, but he did. And I think it was Andrew Siciliano posted today on X, said that Joe Flacco's 261 yards away from moving into the 16th all-time passing leader spot. He'll move ahead of Vinny Testaverde and Carson Palmer, and then he'll only be 350 yards behind Russell Wilson to move up to 15. So Joe Flacco's still climbing the ladder, man. On the all-time list.
I like him as our quarterback as long as he stays upright, man. He took some hits in that game on Sunday where I literally just held my breath and I was like, is it over already?
Yeah.
Is it a come full circle already? I like him out there. I think he brings the most to the table for our QB1 at this moment. If we want to utilize the weapons that we have, he's our guy rolling forward as long as we can keep him upright. But Josh, I'm heading in to pick the girls up, bro.
Go get them.
Love you guys. I got one last thing.
Let's go Browns, baby!
This episode is sponsored by Manly Bands. Browns fans, it's time to kick off the NFL season, and it's also time for you to kick off your wedding band game. Head to manlybands.com right now for their fall wedding sale. Get 30% off site-wide, plus use promo code CAMP25, CAMP25, to get an extra $25 off your order. Manly Bands has the most unique, handcrafted wedding bands for men, and they've got a huge selection, so many different styles, materials, and collections to choose from. Plus, they've got manly gifts for any situation you need, whether you're getting married and you need groomsmen gifts. They've got barware, they've got chains, bracelets, they've got gifts for retirement, and they've got your everyday stuff like lighters and coffee mugs. They've even got ear pods and some pretty cool t-shirts as well. So dive into football season this fall. Head to manlybands.com, 30% off with the fall wedding sale, and get an extra $25 off your order with promo code CAMP25. That's manlybands.com/dogs. This episode is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Your season, your shot. The NFL is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown scores to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. And new customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly, plus score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BROWNS. That's code BROWNS to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Oh man, I miss it when Justin can't be on the show. Damn it. All right. Yeah, so he was talking about Joe Flacco, keeping him upright and all that kind of stuff. The big thing, and we talked all, leading up to the season, Joe Flacco obviously was QB1 if you want to be competitive, at least for the first stretch of the season. And the big thing for me was always, how many turnovers is he going to throw? And he took great care of the ball in the Bengals game. Somehow comes out of the game with 2 interceptions on the stat sheet, only in Cleveland kind of thing. But Joe Flacco himself did very good. I was impressed with that on Sunday. Colton, we'll get you up here. Is this your first time on a Discord show?
Yes, a long-time listener, first-time caller.
All right, there we go.
So, yeah, no, excited to be able to jump on here. I had so many issues with Discord and my lack of technology for my high school education that I couldn't figure out notifications and everything for the longest time. So I think I'm finally bowed in. So
cool.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Excited to be here. Just got a hot pick for this weekend, and I was reading the Dawgs by Nature kind of email blast that was sent out today, and the kryptonite of Derrick Henry is the Cleveland Browns defense. So just a couple of quick little stats I pulled up here. So in 2016, he had 2 carries for 7 yards, assuming he got hurt or something and he came out. But he had double-digit carries in the next 3 games that he faced us, 13 yards, 60 yards, and 20 yards. And then obviously he had that fluke at the end of 2024 where he cracked 100 yards for the first time against us. But the over-under is set at 93.5 this weekend. So I think I might just go ahead and take us on the under for the rushing total for Derrick Henry. But no, I'm super excited to see what we can do this weekend and building off of kind of the defense performance we had last week. Obviously, I hope everything else falls together in terms of scoring points, meaning the kicker. So hoping that all comes together and to fruition. But no, super excited just to see what we roll out Sunday, and hoping Joe Flacco gets that revenge game that he deserves in Baltimore. So thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate you jumping up here and sharing your thoughts and everything. And those stats are great because, I think we all remember the 2023 game. Obviously, Henry was on the Titans, different team, different story, but we stuffed him, man. Like, he couldn't do anything against us, and it was wonderful. Last year was just really hard to take a whole lot away because it was it was just the whole year felt like a fluke. It was such a throwaway season from the start. And I think what we saw on Sunday against the Bengals, that was the continuation of what we were building back in 2023. And that to me feels more like what we should or could expect going forward. Now, the Ravens are tough, man. I don't want to sit here and blow smoke and try to get everybody all pumped to say we're going to win this game, because there's a very real chance, obviously, that we don't. They are tough. They're going to be pissed that they blew that 15-point lead late in the game last week, that they're 0-1. It's their 30th celebration. I mean, as much as that could be motivation for us, this is going to be motivation for them too. They don't want to come out here and drop an egg and go to 0-2 on their 30th celebration against us. I mean, they will do whatever they can to make sure that does not happen. And I think it's going to be a tough matchup all the way around. Andrew, let's get you up here next. Kenny, you will be after Mr. Jackson.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about you?
I live and laugh, I guess. But yeah, my biggest thing, or I guess question mark, is still, I know the stats, you just get the stats about Derrick Henry, but man, watching that game last week, Derrick Henry looked like he kind of turned the clock back a little bit. And I still think it's still a scary kind of monster to go up against. And I know we've had success, but nothing, saying that we won't, but it's still something I'm worried about. But after last game, like outside the kicking situation, I left feeling pretty good about it, everything with the team. So I like our chances. I mean, I would say it would be better than most years with this game coming up. But I really do believe we have a good fighting chance for this game. We can keep it close, like Justin said, and dirty it up, make it a gritty, grinded out game. And nothing would make me happier than spoiling Baltimore's 30th celebration. There's not a team I hate more than Baltimore, so I would love to be able to rain on their parade. That's all I got, bud.
All right, man. Good to hear from you. It sure would be nice to go over there and just spoil that stupid celebration. We'll see. This defense will keep us in any game, I think. And obviously in the NFL, we talk about any given Sunday. Any team can win at any point. I mean, unless, I don't know about these Carolina Panthers or these Miami Dolphins look pretty rough in week 1. But with this Browns defense, I think we can hang. It's just a matter of what can our offense put together? Can we be efficient? Can we dominate the time of possession like we did against the Bengals? Can we keep the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hand for what did we do that first drive? I think it was like 35 minutes or something since the last time Joe Burrow was on the field. I mean, you can really cool down an offense by keeping them on the sideline and just methodically going down the field and wearing down their defense. Hopefully we're able to do that again. So let's get Kenny Mack up here, up on stage. Maybe. There we go. Kenny, you're on mute. Kenny is buffering. We got the video. Okay, Mr. Mack. You're on mute, bud. You can't take it off. Hang on a second. Let me see. You must have done it because I don't have the option to unmute you. I think he just said son of a bitch. Yes, I did. I can read those lips. Okay, all right. We'll move you back. We'll try to get you back up here again here in a second. Just kind of continuing real quick with the Derrick Henry stuff. He is obviously the league leader after week 1, 169 rushing yards. And they also have the league leader in receiving yards. Zay Flowers led the league in week 1, 143 receiving yards. I mean, these guys we're just going to have to deal. I'm not as concerned with the passing output just because we just shut down Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. So we've shown that we can do that. Lamar Jackson is just a different animal because of what he can do with his legs behind the line of scrimmage, creating windows and opportunities to throw that other guys like Joe Burrow just can't do. He's more of a in-the-pocket kind of guy, a better target for Myles Garrett in this pass rush. Lamar Jackson, not not the same situation. Let's see. They had the most rushing yards last week with 238 total between Henry and Lamar primarily. The Browns put up the 5th most passing yards with 278, and our defense allowed the 2nd fewest total yards in week 1, just 141. The Broncos had the Titans held to 133. The Titans a little bit of a different offense than the Bengals, so I think that what we did was definitely more impressive than what the Broncos were able to do. The Ravens put up the 2nd most yards, 432. The only team, obviously, that had more was Buffalo, who they lost to, at 497. If any of you guys want to come up here and talk or ask a question or anything, just put your hands up in the chat. Let's see. Despite the 3rd lowest rushing output for the week, which was the Browns, we still had the 13th most total yards, which is kind of crazy. 327 total yards, and I think we only had like 46 or something like that rushing yards. It was really bad on the ground for the Browns. Tony, back up here on stage. What you got, man?
Yeah, so I have a question for you. This is very future thinking, so I understand, and I know it doesn't really involve the Baltimore game that much, but say Fannin goes into this Baltimore game, does the same thing he does last week, maybe gets rid of like one of those drops that he had, has a really nice game. He does this for the next, say 3-4 weeks, but we're at a losing record where most of us have us like maybe 0-6, 0-7, maybe 1-5, 1-6, whatever the case may be, and it gets close to that trade deadline. Could you see Njoku, especially seeing how not much involved he really was in that Bengals game? Obviously, we'll see how much more involvement he gets through the rest of the season, but could you see Njoku being a trade target by the time that trade deadline comes up, especially with it being his year for an extension as well?
Yes. I could see that obviously being a situation because of just the nature of the business of the NFL. And I think moves like that make sense. When we love Njoku, so this is not me advocating for trade David Njoku. This is just me answering your question saying, yes, I could see it being a possible situation they consider. I mean, he's in the last year of his contract. He's more of an aging. I mean, he's 30 years, 30, 31. He's an aging asset at this point. I mean, obviously, we would love to see them extend him and keep him here. I think that what he provides for the offense in his blocking and the other things that he does that doesn't get put into the box score or any stat sheets, I think that kind of stuff really helps the team a lot. And, it frees up a guy like Harold Fannin, because if we didn't have Njoku, we'd have to find somebody else to do David Njoku's role, because Harold Fannin's not that guy. Harold Fannin's not going to be your inline prototypical type of tight end. He's really good in the role the Browns are using him in. So I don't see his role ever changing to what Njoku's is. I think Harold Fannin's got his role and what he excels at. I mean, I think it would all come down to what the offers are that are coming in. I don't know if the Browns are really just going to go shop him necessarily. It would be more of teams come calling. And I don't know. I don't really know what the going rate is for a 30-year-old tight end who's shown flashes but never put it together for, like a full season. But I think Njoku probably has more value to the Browns than what he would in a trade. I don't know what we'd get back for him. But Kenny, can we hear you now?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
I had to go to my phone. I don't know what's going on with my computer, man, but I am pumped. But you know what? I know that everybody in the narrative is that the Ravens are pissed. But you know what? This team, the Browns, they can't be more pissed. Like, they should be even equal or more, because, I mean, not to get that win against the Bengals, I mean, just because of your kicker, like, I mean, literally both teams, the Ravens and the Browns, like, they blew it. They lost the game. But I can't see where the Ravens are just that much more angry. And when you add the game and the hype and them celebrating the 30 years, whether it was the NFL or whether it was the Ravens or it was a collaborative effort, who cares, man? This is the Ravens. They need to just kick these guys' butts, because at the end of the day, the narrative that us Browns fans is that, we almost always win. That shit's got to get out of here, man. And anything that you can do, like anything they can do this month, beat the damn Ravens, because, I mean, then you get all this stink away. You get all this like, oh, Kevin isn't doing this right. And he's, taking the kicker or not having the right amount of kickers in or whatever it is. Just get rid of all that by beating the Ravens, man, because I like what I see in this defense. Those guys were physical. You know, Joe Burrow wanted to get out of that game. Sure, you think every quarterback would want to be out there. He got smoked by Miles a ton of times. And can we do the same with Lamar Jackson? I think we can, because Mason Graham made some adjustments, and all the defensive tackles were actually pushing the pocket. And that's when we started really dominating that game. Can we do it with Lamar? That's the question. On the offense, I mean, obviously, that's like the biggest thing that we need to know. Are we going to have any semblance of a resemblance of a run game? And Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco, he can do it. Like, I mean, look at what Jameis did against them at home. We had no fighting chance at their place last year. Like, don't even think about that game. We had nothing. But between that tape, the tape that the Bills put on, I mean, we can figure something out and stay in this game, man. Give me your thoughts, baby. Suck it, Ravens. Let's go. Hoo-hoo.
I mean, the Browns and Ravens have split this series the last 4 years in a row now. So obviously, is it out of the question for the Browns to be able to win a game against Baltimore? No. We've done it the last 4 years. And the last time we went into Baltimore and won was in 2023 when, we started out the game with a pick six. And it was, and then what? I think we were down like 13 or 14 nothing real quick, because I think it was like a Keaton Mitchell big catch and run or something. I can't remember exactly how it played out. But that was the game where, Deshaun Watson battled back in the second half. That was like the one promising moment, real promising moment from him. Greg Newsome had the pick six late in the game. And I think what it came down to, the Dustin Hopkins field goal that he made, because he was on fire that season and we won. I don't know if that happens this year, if it comes down to a kick. I don't know about you guys. So I want to hear what everybody has to say. Put it in the chat. Yes or no, basically. Like, do you have confidence that Andre Schmidt can bounce back? Because I am a no. I'm a hard no. I think the pressure is going to be way too much. He's going to be in a hostile environment in Baltimore. It couldn't have been better for him than it was in Cleveland. I mean, you're at home, friendly environment, beautiful day, and you can't make a PAT and a 36-yard chip shot. That's not good. That is not going to work. You guys let me know what you think. Andrew?
Yeah, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it, my man. Like, I agree with you. I got no confidence. I wish we would have got a kicker in. I would have liked Eddie Pinheiro in, but we got what we got. So let's give it one more chance. I guess we got no other option.
That's right. Yeah, he's the guy. The Browns say they're confident. Okay, let's see it. Andrew, what you got, buddy?
All right. So I tried to say this on the first time, but it's great celebrating 5 years with you guys. Kicking off our first Discord live show this season. But cheers to you guys for doing this for 5 years. It means a lot to a lot of us. So appreciate that. I want to give you guys your flowers real quick.
Oh.
So my question to you is, what's the one, what are the bright spots that you think we have that over the Ravens, and what's what's the one thing that you really fear from the Ravens against us? Like the one thing that you're the most worried about in that aspect too.
One thing, or can I talk about a few? I'm worried that we won't be able to run the ball again, and that's going to make us super one-dimensional. And I don't know. It's tough. It is tough to ask Joe Flacco to continue to shoulder the load, throw the ball 40 to 50 times a game, and not throw actual interceptions. Because last week he did not. Obviously, they were tipped, and they weren't on him. But we have seen it now so much over the last couple of years with Joe Flacco. When he throws a ton, oh man, the mistakes just they pop up and they happen. And I think that could cause the game to get away from us if he throws one or two picks. Maybe one goes back for six or close to or something crazy like that. I think that our defensive line could be a problem for them. Like, we were talking earlier with the Derrick Henry stats. Colton brought that up. I think we could see a stronger run defense against them than anything Buffalo showed. Mason Graham, these guys, Malik Collins, along with Garrett and everybody else. Man, where do we? Our receiving core still worries me. Cedric Tillman had a nice week, But again, your top two receivers were both the guys that dropped passes that turned into interceptions. You just can't have that. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Stevie.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
dude.
Kenny.
I would say that the defensive line, the rookies, all of them are on fire, and except the quarterbacks. And Flacco is airing it out. And then I would have to reiterate the same stuff. Non-existent running game, and man, if it comes down to that non-existent running game in the red zone, guess what? We're kicking field goals and not feeling good there either.
I'm very concerned about special teams overall. I really am. I think, and we can do this on another episode if we don't have enough time. I'm just not sold on Bubba Ventrone right now. I haven't really been. The other guys seem to have been a little bit more like big on him. I don't know, man. I just feel like the special teams have been nothing great since he's been here. And
I thought they were okay. I thought Bojo did well. I thought good returns by Carter. And I just thought the kicking game and missing those 4 points was such a major letdown and such a shadow over that team from last week.
For sure. Stevie, you're on mute, but you're up here, man. What do you got for us?
Hey, guys. It's the first time I called in. First,
Yeah.
I just want to say I love your show. I love the Discord. So glad that I joined a year ago. Two things. I first wanted to answer your question about the kicker. I trust Kevin. He wants to give him another week. I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed. He's obviously better than Hopkins. And about the running game, I've been following this team for almost 50 years now. And it seems like almost historically, most NFL teams start out slow, running the ball. And as the season goes on and defenses get a little beat up, it sort of evolves. And I think with all of our rookies, I'm not worried about our running game at all. I think Kevin will scheme, some of those guys into positions that they'll be able to run the ball. But my biggest thing is I love our freaking defense. My God, if they play this week like they played last week, we can beat anyone as long as we make our kicks. But that's all I wanted to say, guys. I love your show.
Well, that's awesome, man. I appreciate you jumping up here and talking for the first time. It's great to hear from you. I know we talk all the time in the Discord and we have conversations and go back and forth, and it's a ton of fun. But I'm glad we're doing these shows again. It's a great opportunity to hear from you guys actually and get you on the show. It's good to hear that you've got confidence in the run game. I'm obviously a little more skeptical just because it's been years now of inefficient running attack, and until I see it change, man, it's just hard to count on it changing. But I love your optimism. I do. I think that you're right about the defense. With our defense, said it earlier in the show too. We can hang with anybody. I really do.
One thing I'll say to Stevie's point, and thanks for calling, bro. Good to hear your voice. One thing I'll say to his point is maybe just with the veteran crew that we have, maybe it's just going to take a couple games to get going. Then we finally get those games, that we watched where we were on the end of it, where we weren't winning, and we were hearing that how this veteran offensive line turned our guys that didn't really know what they were doing kind of near the end of the season. So maybe we're going to get that near the end of the season. We'll see. And maybe we'll get a couple runs. But, boy, those runs will really help Joe Flacco out this weekend if they can get something going.
No kidding. And we talk about there's so much play action built into the offense with Kevin's, and Joe Flacco's so good at running it. And it's harder to fool a defense or convince them that you're, threatening to run the ball if you can't run the ball. Because they're just, what was the stat? I don't remember if we talked about it on the show yet this week. The Bengals let's see, Dylan Sampson never faced a stacked box. He never faced eight men in the box against the Bengals. So they didn't care that we were trying to run the ball, and they stopped us without stacking the box. So that to me is a little concerning. And I think Baltimore is a much better defense than what we faced in week 1. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Browns fans, if you're like me, the stresses in life only increase the older you get. Your family, your job, your bank account, just a few things that drive the cycle of stress every day. And if you have people constantly depending on you, it can put a heavy weight on your mental health. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Why does no one appreciate everything I'm trying to do for them? If these thoughts have ever darkened your day, 1, you're not alone, and 2, I highly recommend talking to someone, and that's where BetterHelp could be the right resource for you. Head to BetterHelp, HELP.com/Dawgs, DAWGS for 10% off your first month of talk therapy. Just fill out a simple questionnaire and BetterHelp will match you with the best therapist for your needs. And if it's not the right fit, you can switch therapists at any time for no extra cost. BetterHelp is 100% online. You can talk with your therapist on the phone, via face chat, or even through text message. Your therapist will listen, ask questions, and help you see things from new perspectives. So what are you waiting for? Take the first step to making positive improvements in your life. Head to BetterHelp.com/Dawgs now for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Dawgs for 10% off your first month. Brad, the truth. Back up here. What's up, buddy?
What up, the truth?
The commish, Ian Swifty.
so
You
I'm
got
gonna-
all kind of aliases, man.
Swifty, yeah, Ian Swifty, you know, bringing the news always, even good or bad.
Man.
So with the kicker, as much as we'd like to boot him out the door, I'm gonna give him one more game to prove himself, and if he does, say he's 3 or 4, and like that fourth one really didn't matter, it was just to add to our score to win, maybe. I'll give him a pass, but like if it's like 1 for 4, yeah, he needs to like be like on the bus out of there that day. It's rough for kickers here, man. I just don't get it. Like, we've drafted, we've traded, we've signed guys, we've paid guys, all since Phil Dawson. We have not found a kicker, and I don't know what the problem is of us finding a kicker when all these other teams seem to find at least a halfway decent kicker, and we've just been through kickers. Like, we're almost through the same amount of kickers as we've been through starting quarterbacks since Phil Dawson.
Yeah, the kicker
Like,
jersey
I saw
going
somebody,
around.
I forgot who posted it on here. There was like a kicker jersey now. It's just like,
If we had to pick some of those kickers, we've already had half of them. It's super frustrating. And like, we miss so many point afters. Like, it should be routine stuff. Like, where are we going wrong with this?
Well, what
Like,
bothers
it's just a couple of like PATs. We would have had Stefanski would have had a couple more wins. And if you guys heard the stats, I'm pretty sure Josh said it. He's like 5-16 in games where he's missed kicks, and he's lost like 2.2 points per game, which I think leads the NFL, which is ridiculous. Like, that should be your number one priority then, if we're an analytically driven team. It's wild.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Andrew Jackson. Just dropped that jersey picture in the chat. So if you're watching, you can see it. If you're just listening to the audio, go to YouTube and check it out. I agree with Mama Tendo. She says he deserves at least one more chance, but 1 is all he gets. And I've been saying all week, the leash is 1. You miss. And that's why I think that the pressure is going to be hard on this kid. You get 1 mistake. Now, like, you've messed up twice to lose a game. And now, that's it. You got to be perfect. And I think that pressure, whether it's fair or not, whether you think it's fair or not, that's what it is. And I've had some arguments with people saying, like, well, what are you going to do? Just cut everybody who makes a mistake? You get a lineman that misses 1 block, you're just going to cut him. And my pushback has been, it's different with kickers. You have 1 job. That's it. That you 1 thing to practice. You go to practice, everybody else is out there working on, their mechanics and, catching the ball or running a route or, tracking, whatever. You kick field goals. That's it. That's all you do. I don't understand how it's so hard. And then other people will say, oh, well, Cleveland's a hard place to kick. The opponents don't have a problem making field goals. We get beat by people all the time at home who can make field goals. So it's crazy that we can't find a kicker.
Yeah, it's not like we had scrubs here. What's Schmitz have? He was like kicker of the year, or he had the Lou Groza Award. We had Cyber in there. We've had Cade York. They've all got the same accolades, and they just come here and just can't do it. Now they're both looking for teams, but I mean, it's not like their college credentials were terrible when we got them.
No, not at all. All right, I'm going to get too heated if we keep going on the kicker thing. Brad, you got anything else here? Shift us over.
Hot take score. I'm going to give you a score for Sunday. All right.
All right. Just give me the numbers. Give me the numbers. Don't say who wins and loses.
Okay, the numbers.
Yep.
38-32.
38-32. Whew. I'm going to say are you pulling for the Browns here?
Yes.
Okay. I figured we like to get our hopes up. I'll tell you what, 38-32 would kind of surprise me. Of course, this is a division game thing. Weird things happen, but first of all, I don't know. We don't score a lot of points. We haven't scored a lot of points in the last year, which is concerning. If we get all the way up to 38 out of nowhere, that would be really cool. Maybe does that include a couple defensive scores?
Yes, for sure.
Maybe a Denzel Ward pick six this time.
Yes.
Okay. Well, does anybody else want to jump up here, get any thoughts on the show? Anything from last week for the Ravens game? Anything from just maybe season long in the future? All that kind of stuff. Get your hands up. We got Gage up here. What's going on, Gage?
Gage, my man.
What up, Kenny?
What up, Jones? How you doing? What up?
Yeah, man. I am 100% on the train of cutting forward as soon as Judkins is back on this team.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're talking about that.
This game, I really want. I want to see Sampson and Sanders be the duo against the Ravens. Because we've seen enough of Ford.
Yes, we have.
We know what we're gonna get.
Yes, we do.
But I worry our offense is going to get a bunch of 3-and-outs against this Ravens defense. I think the D line for the Ravens is going to feast on us. Yeah, I hate sounding like a pessimist, but you know, I don't live in reality of what we are, our situation is for this season. But for me, my score of the game, I'm going to say 28-13 Ravens.
So not really a close one. Yeah, don't apologize for being pessimistic. I mean, you're just being realistic. I mean, I can't stand when people, dog everybody else. Oh, you need to, pick the Browns to win every time. No, I'm not picking the Browns to win this game. I think that they can win. I see a path where they win the game. I would not bet on it. That's just where I am right now after 1 week watching both these teams, just kind of knowing where each team is headed, the trajectories. These guys, the Ravens are they're trying to win a Super Bowl. We're not. It sucks. That's the truth. We're not. So we'll see how it goes. The 30th year thing could play a factor for both sides. Like I mentioned earlier, I would love to see the Browns go in there and just knock them off and keep this. I mean, it's a division game, so these things always get weird.
Well, I mean, like when we beat them last year, we won the time of possession. We did lose the turnover margin. We turned it over once. We had 80 yards rushing. We had 321 yards passing.
Right.
So those are the benchmarks, and we put 29 points on the board. So if you can't hit those benchmarks against the Ravens, then it's going to be tough. And like, Gage, man, I didn't think you were a pessimist. I just thought you were a realist. And so if we can't do those things, so get that 401 yards that we had against them last year, it's going to be tough sledding.
Yeah, I think that's I'm glad you brought up the game last year, kind of the way you did there, Kenny, with the stats and stuff, because, last year we couldn't run the ball at all season. So, I mean, if we kind of expect that to continue, we can look at that for Sunday. And the Bills threw all over the Ravens secondary, which we did too at home last year when we beat them. And that was with Jameis Winston. But if Joe Flacco can come out, I like Joe Flacco better than Jameis Winston. He can chuck the ball all over the field, but he's not as loosey-goosey with it, throwing it into danger. Now, obviously he can, and he has, but I'm much less concerned with Joe Flacco than I ever was with Jameis Winston chucking it around. So it could be a game where Joe goes out there and throws for 350 and 3 touchdowns, and our defense gets a key stop or a turnover or something, and we win the game. It could totally happen. Like I said, I can see the path for it to happen. I won't be shocked if we come out of there with a win. I'm just not counting on it. That's all.
Hey man, Jameis tried his hardest to throw some interceptions last year too. He just didn't. He just didn't get it his way, I guess.
And if Kyle Hamilton picks off Jameis, he threw it right to him. Now we're talking about a completely different season because Cam Ward's our quarterback, most likely, because I think the Browns would have taken him at 1.
Yeah.
But alas,
he had a rough day last week.
He did,
Cam
but
Ward.
he had a rough week in the stat sheet. But I think some of the tape, I've been reading some people talking like he showed some things. I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be. That's Denver defense.
For sure.
That's they're tough. All right, before we wrap this thing up, we got a few minutes here. Does anybody else out there in the audience want to come up and say anything, ask a question, talk about anything? I'll give you guys a couple seconds to ponder it, but see if we get a hand up. Colton wants to come back up. Let's do this. What you got?
So I don't know if this is mentioned or not. I accidentally had to take a call a little bit ago, but I don't know if anybody saw the bulletin board material that Grant Delpit put out just a little bit ago. He was asked in his interview today, how hard is Derrick Henry to bring down? He says, not hard. I think that could be something that the Ravens are going to have written all over their locker room going into Sunday's game. I know we're going to be excited. They're going to be excited, but I think this is just added motivation for them in a game that we're already uneasy about. So we're going to see kind of where that goes. Maybe the comments made prior or after the game about Mr. Grant Delpit. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I think I saw that. I think I saw the actual footage of that, and he was laughing when he said that. I think it was sarcasm, but to be honest with you, I did not really pay that much attention, so I could be out in left field on that one.
Well, I didn't actually see the comment. I didn't see the video or any audio of him saying it. I read it too. I guess if anybody's going to say that, it should be Grant Delpit, because if you guys remember, I think it was it 2023 at home, or was it last year? Laid him out.
He smoked him.
Yeah, I mean, he did the too small, whatever celebrate. I mean, he laid him out. So I still think he's not right. Derrick Henry is definitely hard to bring down. I think Jerry Jeudy had some bulletin board material. He was asked what challenges the Baltimore secondary presents, and he said no challenges. Okay, dude, you better go out there and prove it now. Don't just talk your shit.
He
go
was
out there and show
serious
us.
too. There was no laugh there, man.
Right.
That was straight up disrespect.
And, hey, they gave up the most passing yards last week. They gave it up to us last year when we played them. So hopefully something happens big this week and the Browns just come out and light it up. I would love to see this offense be explosive. I would love to see Jerry Jeudy have a big game. Tillman and Njoku, Fan. I mean, we have pieces. Can we put it all together against a very good team that, again, they've got Super Bowl aspirations this year. So this is going to be a good one. I'm excited for this game. I am. I mean, I'm always excited for division games just because it's rivalries and there's just a little extra in these matchups.
Yeah, I mean, I think they started 0-2 last year, did they not? Or was the year before? So it's been done in Baltimore, so maybe it'll happen again. We'll see.
I think it was the year before. I think last year they were, let's see, K-Dog in the chat. Is it just me? All I hear is music. I don't know, man. I no one else has said anything. That music is definitely turned off here.
You can turn it on your app.
Oh, maybe he's got it turned on his end. Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. Yeah, so we'll work through these Discord, technical issues and things like that as we go. Obviously, this is just the first one we're going to do. We'll be back next Thursday. We'll do another one. Thursday's 3:00. That is the plan. So if you guys want to kind of plan ahead, schedule these things, just know that's when we're planning to do them. Obviously, schedule pending. Things might change here and there from week to week, but that is the plan. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This is awesome. It's great to hear from you guys. We talk all the time in the Discord. It's awesome to have you come up and talk on the stage here and get to hear your voices and interact. And It's a ton of fun. So if you're listening to this after the fact or watching the video and you want to be part of these shows or you want to get into the Discord, meet all these guys, plus everybody else who wasn't able to make it today, head to jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page, sync up with the Discord. It's a ton of fun. It's a great place to be. Awesome community of diehard Browns fans. Let's go. It's week 2, Browns, Ravens, 30th year anniversary. So let's see if we can go in there and spoil that stupid celebration. So let's go Browns, and we'll talk to you guys on the recap show.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.
This episode is brought to you by Boden Sports. Browns fans, it's summertime. Time to get outside and take advantage of the beautiful weather and play some backyard games. Head over to bodensports.com, BADEN sports.com/dogs, and check out all their summertime gear. And for 10% off your entire order, just use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. Now, if you guys love pickleball, Boden Sports has all the gear you need, including a variety of paddles, balls, and complete pickleball sets with a pack and go carry case so you can play in the backyard or take it on vacation to play with the entire family. Boden Sports also has volleyball and badminton sets, croquet, horseshoes, bocce, and even Vikings chess. And no summer break is complete without some good old-fashioned wiffle ball. Plus, Boden has all kinds of different basketballs with special outer layers that are designed specifically for whatever surface you'll be playing on. So don't waste 1 second this summer. Head to bodensports.com/dogs to get the backyard outdoor gaming gear that your family needs and get 10% off your entire order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. That's bodensports.com/dogs.